Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 32 of the last Iglehart podcast. DJ Spin It.
Iglehart podcast. You are
listening to
the last Iglehart. You are
listening to
the last Iglehart podcast.
What is up, everybody? How's it going? Is your Friday doing good? Doing great? Doing amazing? Or whenever you're listening to this, Monday mornings are always good. Ending the week, going on into the weekend. Maybe you even will party up the weekend with my podcast. Instead of blaring out the jams, you just turn on the podcast. Amazing, just delicious. Having the vibrance of the last Iglehart podcast to bring y'all up on the weekend. And you're probably already wondering, well, Dawson, I could probably see already what your outfit's going to be for the podcast. And you're correct. All warm and cozy attire, because the whole entire South is flooded in with a snowstorm. A blizzard that we have not seen in, ages? 2012? 2012 was the last time that we've seen any snow. At least in Arkansas, in the South region anyways. All that stuff. It just popped up on the map. So much for Greta Thunberg's global warming crisis. Or what is her name? Greta Thunberg. Greta Thun. Man, for all that money Bill Gates is pumping into her thing. Can we please get a proper name for the girl? I don't know. I'm not going to be one of those guys on Facebook either, trying to tease her and be that mature. But, I would like to at least know a proper name before I watch her Hulu Netflix special. It goes by 3 or 4 of them. Ugh. Can we get something here? Anyways, cold. The South. That's what we're going with right now. This is the nice attire that I got. I got my nice puffer jacket on. Under it, the merch. Ooh, little sneak peek. That was from episode 29? No, episode 30 when I kicked it off was with merch. But I wanted to put it under there to, flex a little bit more. Because that's just the kind of podcaster I am, just flexing. Look, I spend time and money on it. I'm going to flex a little bit. Is that the term that people still use now? Or they use, I don't know what the fashionable word is now. The sense. Well, I don't know. But we got a lot of things to go over. I did have my roommate in here. He was in here. He was doing his homework. We were all cuddled in together. It was pretty nice. But he was actually going to watch me record myself doing this podcast. He was going to be my one audience member. But, that passed and he wanted to go to sleep, which I don't blame him. It took me a long time to set this up. He at least watched the setup process. It takes a little bit to set this up. But we need some cold. Are we going to put some snowflakes back here on the green screen? Who knows? I don't know. It should pop in whenever I edit this. It will pop in and boom, snowflakes. Oh, and maybe starting now, may not be. Is there a wintry background to it? Putting it in effect? Who knows? But all I got to say is there's been a lot of movie watching. A lot of movie watching has been in this apartment, for sure. Definitely. And I have realized of how much I love movies, not just because I'm in a film class and I'm doing film education in school, but I've always been around movies. My whole life has consisted of movies. Ever since I was just born into this world, my dad has raised me to be a movie enthusiast. He's loved movies, and I've probably mentioned this in previous podcasts. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going with it. But this podcast is going to be circled around movies. Because if you live in the South, which I think right now, most of my listeners are coming from the South, of my, following, Instagram following, Facebook following, whoever listens to me, the majority of them are snowed in right now. So if you're listening from Miami or California or wherever, first off, you're lucky and blessed. Okay, I would much rather be there than snowed in. Okay, here's the thing. Before I get into movies, I don't mind being snowed in for just a little bit, one day of it. Actually, I don't really like snow to begin with. Okay, in Austin right now, it's hailing. It is hailing, which is I'm glad that I'm out of there because I would much rather have my car covered in snow than beat up in dents because of the hail, the intense hailing that was over there. But I'd much rather be in sunshine than having to be in this stuff. There's 10 inches right now. 10 inches. We haven't seen 10 inches since 2012. 10 inches of snow. I mean, it's something else. So we're gonna be locked in, and so there's been a lot of movie watching, and back to where I was born into movie watching, born into it, um, lived, breathed. I mean, that's what I mean. Honestly, when I look back at it, what my childhood has consisted of is movies. I got so bored the other day, I made a list of all the movies that I've ever watched that I can remember that I've ever watched. Yes, I have had to go onto the internet, search up movies, and be like, oh, I remember that title. I mean, I may not remember exactly everything that was going on in that movie. I'm going to have to rewatch these movies. But I made a list, and it took me hours. Hours and hours and hours to make this list. Actually, just a few hours, but nothing major. But I made this list, and it came out to be 700 movies. 700 on the dot that I could think of that I've watched since I was younger. 700 movies. I multiplied that, did the math, so don't wreck your brain, but that is roughly 2 months of my life consisted into movie watching. So if anybody here knows anything about good movies, that is your guy right here. Dawson Iglehart on the last Iglehart podcast. Okay, movies. I know movies. Been watching them since I was young. My dad had 3 bookcases, or I wouldn't even call them bookshelves, just shelves. And they were layered, like 3 layers. Like from what I can remember, they were layered. 3 different layers, like whole big layers. And they reached, I want to say, putting into terms, probably about like, they were around 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall. They were pretty big cases. And A to Z, okay? The 3rd bookcase, the bottom was Z. The top of the 1st bookcase had A, and he categorized them in alphabetical order. And what we would do on the weekends is we would go in, and he'd be like, all right, y'all go pick a movie. And we went and picked out whatever movie we wanted to watch. Starting at the age of probably like, 8 or 9. Because we did, watch the typical, like, little kid movies, whatever. But then it got to a point where then he wanted to watch movies that he wanted to watch. And therefore, if we were around, then he'd be like, whatever. He was one of those parents. It was like, they're going to watch it one day, or they're going to learn about this somehow. So, probably one of my first experiences into the real world was through movies of what people acted like, language, scenes. I think how my face got covered. Like my mom was more of the face covering parent whenever a nude sex scene was up our eyes and like whatever. But she was always an awful at like going and blinding me from watching those scenes because her hand would go over my face. But somehow her fingers just always spread apart and I could always see through the cracks because parents, you realize when you put your hand over their face, you have to put the palm. You put the fingers only, your kids can still see through that. And, my first anything that I saw, whatever, was just through my mom's little fingers. Just going, oh, that's what those are like. Oh, well, Dawson, can you see through my hands? Dawson, can you see? No, I can't see through them, Mom. No, not at all. Not at all. I can't see through them. At all. No, does she know? I can see clear as day. Just squint my eyes. It was always a goal. Because once you start doing that, it's going to be their kid's goal. No matter what's going on behind those fingers, they're going to get curious and they're going to go immediately, oh, I want to know what's going on behind in that scene right then and there. So, that kind of stuff happened, but slowly but surely, we got old enough, or what they thought was old enough, to where we were like, they're like, whatever. We're going to watch whatever movies we want to watch, and then they're just going to be a part of it. We're those kind of parents. They were what people would call the cool parents of now, because cool parents are not looked upon as cool. They're kind of like the less rules, more openness. But I think there should be an openness amount with your kids. There should be. Okay? I don't think there should be fully strict restrictions, but there shouldn't be also like full on like where it's just like we're just friends, where it's the big old cuddly friendship. I don't think it should be that either, but I think, my parents did a pretty good job. I don't think I turned out that bad. Pretty swell. I mean, I have my faults, of course, if any human does, but I think watching those movies has made me, learn to become the person that I am today. Great. Yay. But anyway, so we would pick movies on the weekends, and we would go watch them. My mom would try to put her fingers over, like a hand over my face to not see the scenes, but I always see the scenes. I always saw everything. Next thing you know, boom, my dad got really into it. Got really into it. Bought the flat screen TVs. Remember when that 3D TV came out, the Samsung Curve? Samsung, not Samsung. Whatever. All the same to me. Blends in. But the Curve TV, when the 3D came out, and then you had to buy those glasses, the 3D glasses that came with it. My dad was so proud. The first movie we watched on that TV was Avatar. Not like the cartoon version, the actual, like, green people, or not green, blue people, where they take their hair and they put it into the dinosaur or whatever and they ride around. Yay. That was the first movie that we watched in 3D off his TV, and he just thought that, like, he had the movie theater, he had the at-home theater. It brought him joy. And I was like, all right, I'm with him. He wasn't a theater guy either. He was like, oh no, we're gonna wait until they come out on pay-per-view at least. Or no, actually DVDs. Wow. Is that the word coming out of my mouth? DVDs? Does anybody know what that is? DVDs? Oh yeah, remember the box set you would get? Ooh, box sets were very important back then. Then the Blu-rays came out, and then when Blu-rays came out, they also they came out with a better disc, so they would, like, not scratch as bad or as easily, and also you get extra exclusive content that you don't get with the regular DVDs. I remember we actually this weekend, because since we're snowed in, last weekend or the previous weekend or whatever, during the week, whenever it was, we started watching a movie, and it was off a CD, and we put it into my Xbox because it plays CDs. Great job by Microsoft for being able to do that, because I'm pretty sure the 360s, whenever they came out, they didn't read disc. They were like, oh, this is not a video game, cough, cough. We will not be able to play that. But the ones, you can put a DVD in there and it will read anything. But I guess we all forgot that whenever you put a DVD in, they also had previews for other movies, like, in the theaters, how they would have previews for movies. Same thing with DVDs, and we totally forgot about that. We thought you can just go straight to the movie. No, there's also previews for other movies, and we completely forgot about that. And I just look back at it, and I'm like, wow, our generation has literally evolved. We've already went through a whole different phase of technology, and we haven't even, sat down and realized it. Like, CDs, totally gone. I mean, I can barely find a flash drive around here anymore. Everything is just like, oh, put it in the cloud. Spend money on the cloud, Dawson. Put it on the cloud. I mean, I can't burn a CD really anymore, because I was trying to burn CDs for a project or whatever, and, like, no one burns CDs anymore. I have to put it on a flash drive. A flash drive is the thing now. Everybody, all the future SoundCloud rappers out there, just be aware. Just be aware right now. You're gonna be seeing rappers on the streets now. They're gonna be selling flash drives. They're gonna be like little flash. Hey, here's my mixtape. You want to hear my mixtape? Here's a flash drive. Here's a flash drive. Play on your phones. Or they may just be handing out just hand out little slips of paper with your SoundCloud on it. You might as well do that now, because CDs are so irrelevant. So DVDs, CDs, I remember when they were so important. But I think this would be the best time to stock on that. Get all the DVDs you can, get all the CDs you can, because once DVDs and CDs become obsolete, they'll become collector's items. Yeah, think about that. I have all the movies that my dad ever had, and they're not, in my possession, but, they're, at my mom's place, okay, in a secret location, the basement. But anyways, I have all those of his. I have all those movies, and I mean, honestly, if I kept on to them whenever I got older, I mean, I think DVDs are definitely going to go obsolete. I mean, they're already pretty much gone, especially since COVID, and everybody's like, oh, do you have a Hulu or Netflix or a Vudu account? I mean, no one buys DVDs anymore. So I'm going to keep on to those, and, who knows, maybe one day, like, some collector's going to come by and be like, man, I'm just collecting all the DVDs I can find. I'm like, I am your man. Pay me a few G's, and you got all the DVDs you want. Same thing with music and the albums and the whatever. I mean, vinyls are coming more back in style than CDs are. like, oh, I kind of want to buy a vinyl, and I just want to play that. I'd rather play that than a CD, which is kind of crazy to think about. Man, but obsolete. The word obsolete. That's going to be the word today. Y'all can look it up, tattoo it on yourselves or whatever, but that's what DVDs and CDs are come to. But yeah, that's what I've grown up is movies. Movies. So when I am now on this podcast, you're probably wondering, well, Dawson, where are you going with all these stories? Well, it's because I made the list of 700 movies, and I'm not going to share all 700 with you, but I made that list, and I went and looked at the top 100 movies rated of all time. Rotten Tomatoes went on there. IBM or IMB or whatever. I went onto there, and these websites don't know what good movies are. They don't, because especially Rotten Tomatoes, like everybody goes, oh man, a movie's gonna be really good when you base it off of Rotten Tomatoes. Oh man, like if it has like really good, it's just gonna be great. But that's not necessarily true. Okay, I looked at all these lists. I couldn't find Princess Bride to save my life, or V for Vendetta, Tombstone. I couldn't find any of these movies, but I did find The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was definitely on there. It's probably because, Heath Ledger had the best performance ever, and it's especially since, that role basically made him commit suicide. That's probably more of a probable cause to put it up on the top list ever. But, I kind of feel like Rotten Tomatoes and, IBM. I don't, not so much IBM, but, Rotten Tomatoes is very, kind of biased, Oh, this movie doesn't have enough women in it. Not going to be high enough up on the Rotten Tomato scale. Oh, man, this movie doesn't have a good enough fat people to skinny people ratio. I'm not going to put that enough on it. No, it's not about that. It's not about race or how many of the sexes it has. No, it's not about that. It's about the quality of the movie. 100% the quality. I take quality any day of the week. And that's what I care about in movies. I don't really care about, if it has this many people in it, it doesn't have that many, blah, blah, blah. I think that's what Rotten Tomatoes is all about. And I came in here today because I am talking about the last Iglehart list of movies. Okay? The greatest movies of all time, in my opinion. Okay? It's going to be very biased, for sure. But, I've also been on some blogs, and they have very biased opinions on what movies they like. So, I think based off of how many movies I've seen, I think I should already have a list in general of my top 5 at least. My top 5, I have them in my dome. Okay? Drilled in. Do I have them drilled in? I don't know. Okay, it might be a little biased because a lot of these movies I've watched with my dad. So I also take in consideration of how it makes me feel when I watch this movie, how I'm connected. And that's what basically I think a movie is really drawn down to, is like the connection that you get with it. But also, I also base all these movies off of the fact of how it's made, produced, the story behind it. I'm a Westerns guy. I love Western movies, spaghetti Westerns, whatever. That's a gene that's passed down from my dad. We've always watched Westerns. So Tombstone, definitely a number 1 movie. Definitely in my list. Okay, I can't rate them, okay? I don't have my exact top 5 or whatever. It's very, whatever, depending on the week. Okay? But for sure, definitely, Tombstone is definitely going to be in my top ones. Next one, V for Vendetta. Okay, I talked to a bunch of people. They don't know what V for Vendetta is. Great movie. Okay? Natalie Portman's in it. She's in it. Okay? And it's not, and you think of, I don't really know. Anonymous? The mask that they use? That, they got it from that movie. They got it from that movie, and I know that's where they got it from. So you go watch the source of where Anonymous got their mask from. And I don't even know where Anonymous is anymore. What happened to them? What happened to Anonymous? They only come around. They only come around when, things are getting spicy in the political scene. They don't do something great. Like, the great people over at Reddit. Remember Reddit? Whenever people, started messing with the stock market, and the millionaires got all mad, and they were like, I've talked about it already. But, I mean, why won't they do that stuff? I think that should be an anonymous's job description. They're trying to bring rights for the people, or they're trying to be a rebellion against the government. Well, if they're trying to be a rebellion, do that kind of crap. One day I'd like to go outside and have cash rain on me, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, anonymous did it, yay! But no, it's none of that stuff. It's just propaganda, straight propaganda. Okay, I want anonymous to do that kind of stuff. Get out there, stop. I don't want them to be those nerds that just mess with kids' Wi-Fi. Oh, you bullied Mr. Blah, 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 blah. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to find your IP address, and I'm going to shut you down. Those guys on YouTube. I feel like that's anonymous now. They haven't done crap. Freaking Snowden. How about him? Snowden's done more work. I'm not a very political person, or I don't know what all his stuff is about, but, if he's, throwing out those records, how about he, give some money in here and there for people, make those stimulus checks pop out a little bit. If you're a really good hacker, all these scammers nowadays, I mean, I'm just telling you, okay? Stop trying to, get into my bank account and take money from a poor person, okay? I literally have $5 in my bank account, and you're over here trying to drain it. Oh, Dawson did, we have some, okay, I have so little money in my checkings account that the bank won't even, contact me for some suspicious activity, okay? If literally someone bought a Dr. Pepper for $5 in Illinois, they won't even call me. Okay, that's how little money I have in my checkings account. Thank you very much. I keep most of it in my savings. I don't find it because of those situations. But let's just put it this way. I don't really have much to begin with. Okay, you're trying to steal money from little bitty people. Now, I know I'm getting off a little bit of a subject here, but come on, it's got to be pretty crucial here. Trying to scam me, trying to steal money from, really? Put it into something else, try to get into, I don't know. If you're going to try to steal money from millionaires. How about, rappers? I mean, they literally piss their money away on jewelry. Literally something that is just so stupid. Oh, look, it spins. Oh, look, it's so shiny. I mean, I see those YouTube videos and those little videos go around that were like, oh, hey, let's test your diamonds out. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, look, it's real. Hey, poor people. Hey, it's real. He's wearing real diamonds. What are we supposed to give him? A round of freaking applause or something? We're supposed to give him a pat on the back? Congratulations, you made a stupid investment. Is it my... that sounds like something I... That's literally what it makes me want to do. Just it makes me want to hold my breath and just never breathe until I pass out. That's literally what it makes me want to do. Okay? Doesn't make me want to scream. It makes me just want to hold my breath, pass out, and then wake up, and hopefully just everything was just a dream. I know, I got way too off subject. So V for Vendetta. Boom, that's definitely on the top list. Princess Bride. That was a tearjerker for me. I love that movie. If you've never seen it, go watch it, okay? Especially now, all the couples, they're frozen in together. And I know you smooth guys out there hey, let her come over on this day. Yeah, I know what y'all did. If y'all are in the South and y'all played it just right, and y'all looked at the weather and y'all hey, let her come over about 4 o'clock in the evening on a Monday, all right? And the storm's coming on a Tuesday, and all of a sudden y'all get snowed in 3 days together. I know what you're doing. I see y'all out there. Watch The Princess Bride, okay? Don't be, yeah. Okay, watch The Princess Bride. Get more stuff done, watching more movies. Getting y'all's movie list expanded. Okay, Princess Bride needs to be up on the list. It's a very good romance movie. And, I mean, just a well-made movie in general. I mean, I just like it, period. Point blank. Other than that, what other movies do I got? I'm definitely going to put The Dark Knight in there. Heath Ledger did great. I mean, I like him in all the movies, A Knight's Tale. If you watch that movie, he was great in that. I also go base it off of actors. Hands down, favorite actor right now, Ryan Reynolds. Hitman's Bodyguard. That was a good movie. Now, I rewatched it yesterday. Or no, the other day, I think. I don't know. I rewatched it recently, And there was so much unnecessary action in that movie. It just didn't need to be. But the thing is, though, is the action did need to be in there somewhat because it also brought out Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds' personalities. And, that was a match made in heaven. Whoever, wanted to put, hey, let's put Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds in the same room together and let's make them enemies in this movie. Beautiful. So Hitman's Bodyguard, I would probably put that up on the list of movies to watch as well. As long as all the Deadpool movies, whatever, okay? All those movies, point blank out, okay? Why aren't they not on Rotten Tomatoes? Is it because it doesn't fit your agenda? They're funny, okay? Those movies are funny to me, all right? The Godfather, I've watched that. That's actually a top movie of all time, all right? The GOAT of movies, or the greatest movie of all time, the Gamote. We'll call that the Gamote, G-Mote. Would it be better to say G-Mote or Gamote? We'll say G-Mote. Greatest movie of all time. We'll probably put that in the Gamote list. For sure, Godfather, I've watched that. Citizens Kane, I've watched it too. It was a very good lesson. Good lesson in there. Money doesn't buy happiness. Enjoy your childhood, yada, yada, yada. Typical stuff that people know, but they don't want to listen to because they're just like, money, come on, we got to have it. Have all of it. Money. Money talks. Money talks. But does it buy happiness? I mean, that's all up to you. It's all, relative. I don't know. I've never seen, anybody sad that's not true. I've seen a bunch of sad people with money. But who knows? New toys. I guess unlimited cash, whatever, cash flow, money flow, whatever. I don't know. It brings smiles for a little bit. Let's put it that way. Sometimes it's nice to have a nice dinner that you save up for. Anyways, getting off the subject once again. That's one thing you're gonna learn about this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I get off the subject a little bit. It's kind of like a tree. I have one objective that I'm trying to lead to, but I also have many glorious subjects that I like to spurt off to, but try to come and bring it back into it, try to keep the core there, but I will have many different branches that I'm trying to branch out to. So we'll have to hold on this thing. But real quick, it's kind of getting a little toasty in here, honestly, from wearing this. I specifically turned off the heater so, I wouldn't get too hot. But, between the sweatpants and this jacket, or two jackets, and the beanie, it's getting a little sweaty up in here. But, I'm going to push through because it's the outfit for episode 32. 32. G-Motes. Greatest movies of all time. I don't know, out of 700 movies. I don't really watch romance. Genre-wise, I'm not much of a romance guy. I don't really stick to it. I'm more of like a action adventure. Okay, like action comedies, action adventure comedies, perfect. I love those. Comedies, all day, every day, no problem. Romance, not so much. That doesn't fit my cup of tea at all. Maybe if I was in a relationship, yeah, that would change a little bit. The Notebook, or how about I don't know any other romance movies really. Okay, Princess Bride is a romance movie, but you know what? I watched that by myself. Okay, I watched that by myself. I may tear up a little bit by myself. Okay, but that's also one of my. I grew up watching that movie. Okay, I grew up. So that's completely different and off the table, and you do not hold that against me. Okay, all right. Just know. Just because you know now that a little bit that Dawson Iglehart has a little bit of a heart, don't use it against me, okay? I don't like opening up much, and especially on this freaking podcast where everybody listens to my feelings or listens to my thoughts, and I'll let y'all in a little insight, okay? I do tear up a little bit, okay? Not much, just a little bit to the Princess Bride. So I'll let y'all know, okay? Don't hold it against me, though. I don't want to hear y'all in this YouTube comments making fun of me. Oh, you did something. Yeah, because I know it's not manly to cry. Okay, I know it's not a man thing to do. But you know what? I know I'm a man, but I'm not much of one. Okay, I'm more. I don't know. I'm a dude, but with like very with feminine strength. No offense, okay? I know there's some women out there that take a lot of stuff. I'm talking a lot of testosterone. They load up their bodies with testosterone, and they lower their estrogen all the way down. And they talk like this. And you don't want to mess with them because of all the testosterone that's running through them. And I know, that's fine. You can open the doors for me, okay? I don't care. You want me to be a stay-at-home dad? I have no problem with it. You want to put the stuff on the table, meals on the table? Go for it. Go for it all day, every day, no problem. But, if you have to do all that to prove it, a little bit of an stint, okay? Your shoulders kind of grossing me out. You're making me confused. I don't know. I don't want to hug you and feel like I'm hugging a stump, okay, or a wall. Okay, I don't want to be hugging a brick wall, okay? I don't want to have to be the little spoon every time. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Oh, but movies. I think that's all we got on movies, okay? So just go watch those movies. Tombstone, V for Vendetta, The Princess Bride. Top 3 right there, okay? And if you want another Western, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Go watch that one. Definitely another banger on the Western list. For sure. Anything. And movie-wise, anything with Ryan Reynolds, Jake Gyllenhaal, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of his movies. Heath Ledger, watched some of his old work. Very good, brilliant. And if you are also wanting to have possession of my 700 movies list that I will be adding on to all the time. Every time I watch a new movie, I'm going to be adding on to it. If you want to obtain that list so you know what good movies are like, I will post it. Or, I will send it to you. Just, email me. DM me. I'm not going to throw out my phone number right now, but, there are ways to, message me. I mean, there's going to, in the link, click the link to my email, and guess what? Yeah, I'll send it to you. 700 movies. That is a total of 2 months of your life, but it's going to be a life well spent, okay? 2 months of your life. What are you going to do? What else are you going to put that energy in towards, Nothing. Nothing, because, you're a lazy piece of crap, and we know it. And I'm just kidding. Just put it towards snow days, I guess. But where are we moving to now, Dawson? Oh, well, if we're now at the end of the main topic, we already know where we're going to. We're going to the fun facts portion, baby. Fun facts. Who doesn't love a fun fact? Everybody loves a fun fact. I love a fun fact. You love a fun fact. She loves a fun fact. He loves a fun fact. Everybody loves a fun fact. And for this week, I got a particular one. Last week, I talked about blue wells and veins and, match school bus. Make sure to go check that last episode out if you haven't, Make sure to go check it out. And the one before that, and, all the others. Because they are all just as important. Okay? All just as good and all just as important. But for the fun fact portion. Fun fact portion for this week. Trusty little notepad. I know the people that are just listening to this can't see my special notepad, but they can hear it. That's for sure. They can hear it. But for the fun fact this week, I have okay, this is a predicament. I don't know who the people are that get behind these, things that do these weird studies, but I want to hang out with them. Because they seem like fun guys. They seem like, the nerds, that take all the time to do the all analytics and stuff. But for stuff that's fun and goofy, like for this one, almost 160,000 pints of Guinness are wasted in facial hair each year. Okay? Guinness is a alcohol company. Okay? It's an alcoholic beverage that people over the age of 21 particularly like. I am now 21, so... shoot me now. If you think for 1 second, Dawson, I think you're underage. You can't be talking about alcohol on your podcast. Well, guess what, baby? I'm 21. Where's my ID? I don't have it on me, so guess what? You're just going to have to take my word for it. I can't get carded on this podcast. You can't stop me. But Guinness, I'm going to be talking about Guinness. right? And all the dudes that are out there that are growing the facial hair out because the girl wants them to. And, the girls think it's so sexy for the guys to have all this facial hair. I mean, I can't even grow any of my own. You know how much of a struggle it is every morning to look in the mirror and to know that the one thing that women want you just can't obtain? Besides a big hunkin' undercarriage. I'm just kidding. All women desire it. It's a myth. Is it a myth, though? We're not going to talk about. We're talking about facial hair here, okay? I don't know what you thought I was talking about. Anyways, facial hair, okay? I can't obtain it. I got like that nice little mustache going on. I mean, I haven't shaved in a few days. You kind of probably see it on the camera a little bit in all 4K HD. Looking good. But I only get that stubble, but that's about it. I can't get anything else. I can't obtain anything else, and it's sad. Not really. I don't think I would look good with a full beard. So that's why I could drink Guinness. Guinness would be my first preferred beer then. I'm not much of a beer dude, but for Guinness, I mean, I guess why not? Because what they're promoting is guys without facial hair, this is the beard for you because you don't waste it. You don't waste beer like these guys with beards, okay? Beards waste beer. That's the new Guinness slogan, I guess, apparently. And we'll do this. An actual research study, because they have to put the word actual in there to imply that it's not a joke. So an actual research study commissioned by Guinness, so the people that make the beer, of course, found that an estimated 162,719 pints of Irish Stout go to waste every year via the mustache. The study found that 0.56 milliliters of Guinness get trapped in the average beard or mustache with each sip, and it takes about 10 sips to finish a pint. So 10 sips. Okay? 10 sips. And, 0.5 of each sip, goes to the stash. So an estimated 92,370 Guinness customers every year in the UK have facial hair. Assuming they consume on average 180 pints each year, the total cost wasted Guinness annually wasted is about $536,000. The moral of the story is shave to save, baby. Shave to save. That's the slogan of Guinness now. Shave to save the Guinness. Okay? Do you want to be on the side that's wasting $500,000 worth of Guinness a year? Or do you want to be on the side of, like me, that doesn't waste a sip? Okay? It goes right off the lips and goes right down to the tongue where it should be. Delicious. So, these people really went into an intense study to find out, all the beer that gets trapped in your mustache. But you can do it with, food. I wonder how much food gets wasted a year just because it gets trapped in all your facial hair. So, dudes with facial hair, you got pros and cons. You may get the ladies, but you're wasting $500,000 a year. That's a combination of 92,000 different men. So, hold on a second. I'm going to pull my trusty calculator out because in this generation, we can't do math from the top of our heads. We got to use a calculator. 500,000, okay? If you have $500,000 and you divide that by, the 92,000 people, okay, so, each person is wasting, each person is wasting like $5.50 worth of beer every time they drink. What? You're wasting $5. You're paying an extra $5 for Guinness. It's not worth it. Okay? You gotta shave it. Okay? No shave November. Why? Then it shouldn't even be a thing. I mean, I guess Guinness is now officially a no beard, no facial hair man's drink. Okay? Real men have beards. Real men have beards. Well, guess what? Real men with no facial hair get to drink Guinness. We get to enjoy the Guinness. I actually have never tasted Guinness. I've tasted a lot of, beers and whatever, but I've never tasted Guinness. And I wonder what it tastes like now. Because now that it's now pinned towards the non-facial hair people, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go try it. For all you facial hair people out there, be careful. Because you might be spending an extra $5.50, where we're saving. Shave to save, baby. Shave to save. But that was your fun fact. That was an actual fun fact. Oh man, I would need to find more stuff like that because that's actually interesting and very weird. Uh, yeah, as you notice, every fact that I find is not going to be a normal fact. It's not going to be like, oh, a group of crows or a flock of crows is called a murder. Blah, blah, blah. Typical facts like that. No, I go digging for these facts. Okay, I scour the internet. I go on the dark web. I go on everything. Okay, I go on Yahoo and Bing, the browsers that no one ever scrapes to, and I scrape to the surface and I find the facts that no one knows. That's the last Iglehart podcast stamp of approval and promise. Okay, I bring the weirdest facts and the weirdest news articles, baby. Are you ready for news articles? Are you ready for the news articles that I bring to you? Because now we're into this segment now, news articles. If you've never been on the podcast before and never listened to it, get ready, buckle up. Because it's also a little different from my past. In my past, I just find weird news or one weird news thing, and then I just tell you about it and spout off. But now, I want my listeners and my viewers to be a part of the action. I want y'all to be a part of what's going on here and actually participate a little bit because I want y'all to actually, not just listen and, get some good information, get some good laughs out of it. I want y'all to actually, feel like you're part of the podcast, which I would appreciate as well. So what I decided to do is add a little bitty tiny thing, little tiny tweak to my ending, my news article segment. I have one news article that is straight up just, is real, and then I have one that I made up. And I give y'all until the end of the podcast to, decipher with just yourself, you and your girlfriend, or you and your boyfriend, or you and, your family to decipher which story is true and which story is fake. And then at the end of the podcast, I tell you which one is true or false. Which one's the real one and which one's the fake one. And hopefully you got it correct. And if you did, congratulations. And if you didn't, better luck next time, Smucks. Because it'll be always the next Friday. So, unless the world ends. But I'm not planning that to happen anytime soon. I don't know. I've been meditating a lot recently, and I just think we have no, I'm just kidding. I don't. I don't know. It could end tomorrow, whatever. But if it does end tomorrow, and you got this wrong, then sucks for you. Anyways, news article, both off my phone. Gotta find the tab. Yeah, I got so many tabs. Like those relationship. Before we get into it, those like relationship things on YouTube, like BuzzFeed does or whatever. It's like where the girl and the guy switch phones or whatever. I just want to let you know, if I was ever on one of those shows and a girl and I had to switch phones and she went through my notes, she would find some weird notes. Like, wow, it would be a gold mine. Okay, you'd find my joke things, joke subjects. You'd find news stuff. You'd be finding podcast stuff, video ideas, skits, the list of the 700 movies that I have. You'd be digging on a gold mine. Okay, all the information that I have in my notes. If you would sell that at an auction, bro, thousands of dollars worth of information in there. Okay, you think all these people have all the greatest information ever? My notes. Okay? Thousands of dollars worth of information. It's like hitting a freaking gold mine. Anyways, okay? We're not talking about that anymore. We may just scuff on that surface, later on in the next episode. I may go through my notes. Who knows? You will put that for later. But news article wise. First news article that I'm going to bring out to you onto the table. It's comes from from the internet, of course. Apparently spinach, hold on, yeah. Scientists have been teaching spinach to send emails and detect bombs. And apparently that is the new thing that these scientists have been doing, There's cancer to be, found to, start, finding the cure for. There's all these cancers cancers to detect and find cures for, or cured for baldness. It makes it brings embarrassment to like 70% of men a year. Male pattern baldness. They have that insecurity. They might have to get a toupee. or they might have to, just wear a hat constantly because they're insecurities. Or, people still haven't found research for other things like, autism or people on the spectrum or, solving for stuff in everything. But yet, they, spend their time and, taxpayer dollars to do more important things, detecting detecting if spinach could find bombs and send emails, because that apparently is the big thing now. The internet went into a frenzy after a study showed that scientists were trying to find spinach to detect explosives and send emails. The study titled Nitroaromatic Detection. Basically, they, found that, spinach has these compounds in them that, can detect bombs or, I don't know, where's the email thing at? Detect bombs. All those study was conducted back in blah, 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 blah. Spinach and emails became trending across. I don't know how they could send emails. But, all those spam emails and all the different other spam that I get, spam emails, all the subscriptions. I've been wondering who's been sending me all the the Nike's on sale today, or Fanatics is on sale today, or hey, guess what? You just got this email for a free 50% off of this website. I'm wondering who sends me those, because I know for a fact not all of them have enough time to be able to do that. But guess what? I guess I found that baby spinach is up to it. Cheap labor. The companies were tired of getting all these kids to do it. All this child labor and paying them 5 cents an hour to be able to send all these emails. They're like, what? We gotta cut our wages and cut our budget even further because we want to just keep all the money and get richer and richer and richer, and not give it to anybody else. So guess what we're gonna put on the table? We're gonna make baby spinach do it, because we don't have enough technology for robots yet, but for some reason, baby spinach can just send all the emails that it wants to. Okay? Who needs an Alexa when you got baby spinach? Okay? I can go buy baby spinach for like $2 at Walmart right now. You know how much an Alexa cost at Best Buy? Brand new, almost like $200, I think. Maybe I could find one used on Facebook Marketplace, but it's not even worth it. Baby spinach though, bro, $2. And I can have that thing send emails for me. Maybe make it smart enough and tweak it to tell me the weather. Not tell me, but, point out the weather. Tilt right if it's going to be rainy. Tilt left a little bit if it's going to be, sunny. Give me hints here and there. It's $2. Lifespan, I'm going to have to, spend $2, every, week or so, because, spinach doesn't last long, especially when it just got opened. But, thankfully, I have some spinach in my, refrigerator, and I'm gonna see what it can do. I'm just gonna take it out, because apparently these bad boys need to be more respected if they can send emails and detect bombs. Because right now I don't really trust what's going on right now in the world. I'm getting very curious, and the number one thing to fight curiosity and bombs is spinach. All right, spinach, do your work. Find a bomb. Find a bomb, do something. Come on. Roll over. Play over. I don't know. Nothing. I don't know. I need to get a hold of these scientists, because my spinach isn't trained right. Is there like the Caesar Milan of spinach? Like, spinach, trainers? I need to send the Caesar Milan of those, where he comes over. He's like, bad spinach. Send email, spinach. Don't listen to your owner. He bought you. He owns you, spinach. Go send those emails and detect those bombs. Man, I don't know. I just found that story just intriguing, and just appalling, and inconceivable. Did you hear that? I just used a movie quote from Princess Bride. Inconceivable. Go watch it. Anyway, I had to slip that in there. Now on to the next news article. If that news article wasn't wasn't interesting at all to you, it could possibly be the fake one. Or it could just be, it could be real, and be like, wow, that's really like a really weird story. Or it could just be so well written that, it could possibly be fake, but it's just so well written that, like, wow, spinach can send emails, it's a toss up. But we got this next story off the internet. Basically, I'm just going to move on in this. In other news, the word rose sold for a whopping $2.7 million the other day at an auction held by WebsterDictionary.com. Now, apparently we can still say the word, but we have to now credit the millionaire who bought it. He says he bought it for his wife, whom he calls his Rosebud. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know the dude's name, so I can't credit him for every time I use the word rose. And then, I don't know, I guess you just have to cite his name now, or I don't know how that all works. But apparently he bought the word. $2.7 million, and he spent on that for his, lovely wife. I mean, that is just so romantic. Maybe spinach, can send out, nice emails with roses in them. Or, maybe, yeah, they can just, spinach and the word rose can just team up together, send glorious, awesome emails, cite the millionaire. I don't know. Spinach and rose. I mean, I don't know. Which one do you think is fake? Do you think that the it could possibly be the spinach? Spinach, it's very hard to believe that people really did. I mean, do you really want to believe that, because this is the time now to make y'all's guesses, talk with it over your families, make the phone calls, be like, hey, I need help with something real quick. I'm listening to the last Iglehart podcast. It's about to tell us which news story is fake, which news story is real, and I need some help right now. So you have some time. And while you have some time to think about it, I'm going to talk about it real quick, okay? Could be the spinach one. That one could be fake. Because do you really think someone could, make a study? Do you think scientists would waste their time with seeing if spinach could detect bombs, much less trying to make them send emails? Or, I mean, I didn't even know you could buy words. Could you buy words? I know you can buy stars, apparently. Spend, $50 or whatever and say, hey, honey, that star up there for you, I bought that star. It's all for you, baby. I know that we'll never be able to go and explore it, but just know, when you look up in the sky, just know that, how they all blend together. Just know that one up there, and maybe that one. I kind of forgot, but one of those stars up there is for you. Just want to let you know. Or you can buy land. I saw this ad now that you can call yourself a lord if you buy an acre of land in Sweden. I think, yeah, and then they plant a tree there, and then now you're called Lord whatever. Ooh, yay. I'm just going to piss my money away so I can be called Lord. Actually, that's not being really bad with your money. Maybe, it's for a good cause, to plant trees, be more aware. But buying a word for your wife, spending 2.7 million smackaroonies on that word too. I mean, who else was auctioning with him, Was it a battle? Was it the guy next to him just be like, man, I want it for my wife. I want it for my wife, I have millions of dollars. I want to make my wife really happy. You know what? That's going to make her happier than, having the word rose that I bought for her, That's better than all the roses that you could ever buy as a man for Valentine's Day, that was just recently, was around, all the roses that you were bought, but you legit bought the word rose. That's something that tops all those flower buyings, for sure. And you bought the word rose. Or the spinach. But, it's time's up. Time's up, okay? Y'all have had enough time talking. I've given you enough time trying to give y'all guesses. I'm going to give it to you right now, and I'm going to give it to you, just stern and straight. The fake one was the rose one, okay? No one could buy words. No one. If you thought you could buy words, you're an idiot. You're stupid. I can see the stupid. I can feel the stupid look that's on your face right now. Just like, oh, what? You can't buy words? Yeah, no, you can't buy words. Really? That would suck if someone could buy a word and you have to cite them every time. What's up? Oh, sorry. What's up? A term a phrase that was just bought out by a French millionaire. Yay. Name, I don't know, Gustave. I don't know if Gustave's not even a French name, but, whatever. Maybe you could. John just bought the phrase, what's up? I mean, really, you think you could believe that? But the baby spinach one was for real. Apparently, scientists got bored out of their minds. They're like, let's see if spinach could just detect bombs and send emails. What's up? And it blew up all over the internet. People were curious if this is true or not. Then it came out it was true. That's what European scientists do nowadays, because that's what they were, European scientists. So they really, put their money to work, all the funding that they got from all these other millionaires or whatever. They're like, you know what? We want you to do an intense study and research on spinach. Okay? We want you to do an intense research study because we want to know if it is true or not. Let's see if they can send emails and detect bombs. But anyways, thank you for watching. Episode 32. Episode 32 of the Last Iglehart podcast. I can't do it without you guys. I mean, seriously. It, motivates me. Every time y'all listen to this, every time you watch it, every time you tune in, every time I saw some people at a coffee shop the other day. They're like, oh, Iglehart? Didn't know what their name was. Or no, didn't know what the specific person's name was. But he came up to me and he goes, Iglehart? And I was like, yeah, or no, actually he came up to me and said, Iglehart? I said, oh, yeah, you want to get punched, don't you? But of course I didn't do it because, he was a nice guy and I don't have that type of, stature to be able to throw that kind of, suave around. But he came up to me and he goes, oh, Iglehart? And I'm like, I don't know what your name is. But he goes, oh, I love your podcast. And he goes, oh, I saw you at blah, blah. And we kind of met. And I was like, oh, you're that dude. Which I didn't know who he was. But it always softens it up in a conversation when you don't know somebody. When you go, oh, you're that dude. Oh, I remember you. And it makes them feel better about themselves. Just remember that. Last Iglehart promise. But eventually, we talked. And I did actually remember who he was. But, thank you. Shout out to, for him to be able to listen to my podcast, and he enjoys every minute of it. And it makes me happy, and I'm glad that y'all listened to it and made it to the end of episode 32. Last Iglehart podcast, baby. I have a new video that just came out that I just posted. It's a little skit that I did. It's on my other YouTube channel. Link will be in the description. Also, you can just look up the name. It's Dawson Iglehart. And then this one's, that one's Iglehart Dawson. This one's Dawson Iglehart, and it's just my name backwards, whatever. But Iglehart Dawson, that one has my skits that I post, little comedy sketches I do. This one, Dawson Iglehart, is where I post in the podcast, but the links will be in the description. Also, my email, email me anytime you want to. I don't care. Send me anything. Interesting things, whatever. Okay? It's just facts, whatever. Maybe your information will be on the podcast. Who knows? It may not be, whatever. But thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 32 of the Last Iglehart podcast. It means a lot. Once again, I'm just kidding. But thank you once again for listening to episode 32 of the Last Iglehart podcast. And I will be seeing you next Friday. Oh, I almost forgot. I won't be seeing y'all next Friday because we got to rewind real quick. Make sure to like and subscribe. Okay? Make sure to like and subscribe. I almost forgot that crucial detail in the end. I almost forgot it. Why do I almost forget things? But make sure to like and subscribe. It just shows another. And plus also, you'll be the first one, because if you also click the little notification thing, it will also lead y'all into getting notifications every time I post something on YouTube. So click the little bell if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to this, you should already have clicked off by now, because none of this information applies to you. Okay? You didn't watch me off of YouTube. You chose to instead listen to me. But none of this and if you're listening, give me 5 stars on Apple Podcast, or rate me on Spotify or whatever. What's it gonna hurt you? But thank you for listening to episode 32 of the Last Iglehart podcast. I will see y'all next Friday.
Iglehart podcast. You are listening to the Last Iglehart. You are listening to the Last Iglehart podcast.